Welcome back, everyone. After the absolutely phenomenal success of Eric July's Rippaverse first campaign, ISOM #1, which was beyond anyone's expectations. I mean, he launched his Rippaverse, the ISOM campaign, financed everything on his own, was expecting to make something like, I think I think his benchmark was about 200,000, what he was expecting to make, and he blew past that in like a day. And at the end of the campaign, at the end of the ISOM #1 campaign, I believe he ended with something like, I think it was over $3.7 million. A lot of people were absolutely thrilled about it, even though a lot of the so-called access media refused to cover it. All the people who were saying that he was grifting and he wasn't going to put out the books and all kind of thing, they knew they were lying because I got my copy. So I don't know. But and as far as I'm aware, everybody else got their own, and things have been good. So while everybody has been eagerly awaiting ISOM #2 and what it is going to be going on with the Rippaverse going forward, Eric July has said that there are two other books in the works that they're going to do besides from ISOM #1. So he's looking to build a superhero universe, and that's what he's going with. Well, we've got some information coming out, and it is really exciting. We've learned that Chuck Dixon, legendary comic book writer Chuck Dixon, man, who really fleshed out Tim Drake, Robin, guy who created Bane, all of these things, Chuck Dixon is joining the Rippaverse, and he's going to be doing a book called Alphacore. Let's get into this article here from Bounding Into Comics. Chuck Dixon to join Eric July's Rippaverse with new 90-page graphic novel titled Alphacore. Longtime Batman, Punisher, and Conan the Barbarian writer Chuck Dixon recently announced he will be joining Eric July's Rippaverse with a new 90-page graphic novel titled Alphacore. These are the members of Alphacore. Here we got a glimpse of them in ISOM #1. There they are. Dixon made the announcement in a video uploaded to Eric July's YouTube channel where he says, "Hey, I'm Chuck Dixon and I've been invited to join the Rippaverse. Eric July has assigned me a 90-page graphic novel called Alphacore." Dixon then provided some details about the graphic novel. He says it stars a team of superhero cops who patrol the skies and the streets of Forest Park in search of super creeps, weirdos, and villains. Boy, do they find them. It's full of action. It's kind of a police procedural meets a superhero epic. He also goes on and said, "I wish I could tell you who the artist is, but Eric wants to tell you that himself." However, he added, "Trust me, it's a big name, it's a big gun, it's someone you've seen before, and I've seen a lot of the artwork, and it is going to blow you away." Yeah. So now the thing about it is that what Eric July is doing with Rippaverse and what's happening is that a lot of these big name artists and things, or big name writers, some of them who have been either blacklisted by the so-called comic book industry, should I say the big two, or those who have gotten tired of it and walked away, like Gabe El-Tayeb, who was working on Superman, and he said when they changed Superman's motto from Truth, Justice, and the American Way to Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow, so that it's screwing up the comic, he walked away. He's joined the Rippaverse and he's doing well. Chuck Dixon has been putting out a lot of independent comics. He had one the other day about some ninjas fighting some bears and stuff. It was a really interesting book from what I've come to understand. So and people have wanted to see stories from these stories and artwork from these legends again. I mean, if you bring someone like Chuck Dixon into your world of work, you know that people will be excited because now they know that, okay, we have somebody whose work we can enjoy rather than the garbage that we're getting right now. So it's showing that, you know, Eric July is actually interested in moving his company forward and actually having qualified talent be there and not blacklist them because they don't decide to join whatever far-leaning ideology you have. This doesn't work. Following Dixon's brief announcement, July commented saying, "For me, this is everything coming full circle. Understand that his books, what he was doing with the Bat family in the 90s, that was my introduction. Those were the books that I read growing up." So, you know, it's really, as he says here, coming full circle. Is really amazing to see that, you know, this is somebody whose work he enjoyed, whose work he actually was inspired by, and now that he has a company and he's building it, he gets to work with this icon. That's how you do things. That's how you do it. Continues on. And for me to be in a position to work with him is a dream certainly come true. And man, it's certainly a blessing, and I'm thankful to even be in this position. Specifically speaking about the graphic novel, July said, "You're going to thoroughly enjoy the Alphacore book. It turned out absolutely amazing. Chuck came up with an amazing script. There's also some new characters that he introduced in it that I know you guys are going to thoroughly enjoy." July then made it clear, okay, that he plans to collaborate with Dixon in the future. This is not going to be the only project that we do with Chuck. We've been chatting a lot and we have some other ideas as well. So this is one of the OGs again. It was a point in time where he could not miss. Everything that he was dropping was just great work, and we know that because he's been blacklisted, if you will, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to let him touch those classic stories. That's fine. We have him over here at the Rippaverse. And I can't wait to see what he develops. And hopefully, much like his work back in the Gap, this is going to be stuff that is people are going to be jamming for years to come. He concluded. Yeah, because like I said, they blacklisted Chuck Dixon from the so-called Big Two because he doesn't literally align himself with their disturbed thought patterns over there. And we see what's going on in the comic book industry when it comes to Marvel and DC and a few others. We see what's going on. So when you see these legends decide to fund their own books, put out their own work, or go and work on books with Eric July, and I'm sure he's not going to be the only one. You're going to see others going in, writing here and there, doing work with Eric July over the years, building stuff, because people just want good stuff. These guys still have all this knowledge, all this talent in them. They have stories that they want to tell, and they're not being allowed to tell it. So if they get an opportunity, they're going to jump on it. They're going to produce fantastic work, and fans are going to be really happy and really pleased. This was ISOM cover C with Alphacore. This is Alphacore here, and that's ISOM. The Alphacore were originally introduced in July's ISOM number 1 and is still available for purchase from Rippaverse. Rippaverse plans to launch a pre-order campaign for ISOM number 2 beginning in June. Dixon's Alphacore graphic novel is expected to be released after ISOM number 2 with a release window sometime this fall, although Rippaverse's creative and social media manager Andrew Rodriguez did note that the book might be released earlier, but the company doesn't want to overcommit at this time. Yeah. And one thing I will say, this is a wrap up, when I will say that I pointed this out when I did my review for ISOM number 1, but one thing I will say is that the basic business principle that Eric July has adopted with this Rippaverse is customer-centric. And that's what's missing from a lot of these other companies, is customer-centric. As he basically put it, they have a set of rules and a set of regulations that they have to follow. You understand me? And they are producing content that you're going to like, because they don't feel that you owe them to give you your money. No, they have to put out stuff that you will like, that you will enjoy, and regardless of all the people who have all kind of negative things to say about him and to say about the whole ISOM campaign, as he said before, just read the book. It doesn't matter where you fall on whatever way you're thinking or whatever political spectrum. That should always be the point of comics. Everybody should be brought together by it. You shouldn't use it as some kind of pulpit to just scream from the top of your lungs about all your activism crap. Should never be that. So, the legendary Chuck Dixon has joined the Rippaverse. He's going to be doing Alphacore #1, and I, for one, think a lot of people, including myself, are very interested to see how this goes forward, and to see that Eric July has brought on yet another big name into his company. Things are only going to get better from here, and I, for one, support him fully as he goes forward with this. That's it for me right now, people. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.